If your hair feels flatter every year, even with volumizing shampoos, root lifts, and every salon trick you've tried, you're not imagining it. After 60, fine hair doesn't just lose volume, it loses memory. The bounce disappears. The shape collapses. And suddenly, the styles that once made you feel confident now make you feel invisible. Here's what no one tells you. The classic bob everyone recommends for thinning hair can actually make things worse. The wrong bob turns fine hair limp, flat, and shapeless, exposing every thin spot you're trying to hide. But there are 5 specific bob variations that actually work with aging hair, not against it. In the next 25 minutes, I'm walking you through 5 bob hairstyles scientifically designed to create instant fullness. No extensions, no teasing, no daily battles with styling tools. You'll learn which cuts add volume where it matters most, which shapes frame your face without exposing thinness, and the one subtle detail that separates flat and aging from lifted and polished. Because you don't need thicker hair. You need a smarter cut, one that lifts your features, lightens your routine, and makes you feel like yourself again. Before we dive in, if you want more style secrets that celebrate life after 60, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what's next. This community is built for women like us, and I'd love to have you here. Style number 1, the stacked bob. This haircut was originally created in the 1960s by celebrity hairstylist Vidal Sassoon, and it became famous because it was the first bob designed to hold its shape without any styling. Women could wash it, let it air dry, and it still looked intentional. That's the kind of power a well-cut stacked bob has, even today. And for women over 60 with fine hair, it's one of the smartest cuts you can ask for. You know that feeling when you wake up and your hair is already flat before you even get out of bed? This cut changes that. Maybe you've stood in front of the mirror, teasing the crown with a comb, spraying, fluffing, praying it holds, only to watch it collapse 5 minutes later. You're not alone. Traditional one-length bobs weigh down the back of your head, where hair is naturally finer and more fragile. The stacked bob removes that weight entirely and builds lift right into the structure. Here's how it works. This style is shorter and layered at the nape, creating graduated layers that stack on top of each other like architectural steps. Imagine your hair in the back cut into soft, tapered layers, each one slightly longer than the one beneath. This creates natural lift without products or heat. The crown gets breathing room. The back gains dimension. And suddenly, your hair holds shape all day long. I once worked with a woman named Margaret from Toronto. She was 66 and told me, "Every haircut I've had in the past decade just made my hair hang there. I needed shape, not just less length." After trying the stacked bob, she said, "For the first time in 5 years, I don't feel like my hair is sliding off my head. I actually have a silhouette again." That's the power of a cut designed to lift, not weigh down. When you visit your stylist, ask for graduated layers starting at the nape, each layer 1 to 2 inches longer than the one below. Ask for a gentle forward angle that frames the jawline and crown volume built through subtle internal layering, not heavy stacking that creates a mushroom effect. This style is perfect if your hair is finer in the back than the front, you struggle with flatness at the nape, or you want shape without needing round brushes or curling irons every morning. Style number 2, the soft A-line bob. This haircut became iconic in the early 2000s when Victoria Beckham wore her razor-sharp A-line cut on red carpets around the world. But here's the secret. The soft version of this cut, with gentle angles and feathered ends, is actually far better for fine, aging hair. It gives you that same sleek structure without the harsh lines that can make thinning hair look even thinner. Have you ever asked for a classic bob and walked out with something that felt heavy, stiff, and somehow even flatter than before? Blunt, straight across bobs pile weight at the bottom, dragging fine hair down instead of letting it move. You wanted polished, but what you got was rigid. And that can make you feel older, not more confident. The soft A-line has a gentle slope, longer in the front and shorter in the back, but with softness built in through point cutting and texturizing. Picture this. Hair that grazes your collarbone in the front, gradually shortening toward the nape. But instead of a harsh geometric line, the ends are softly feathered, creating movement and airiness. This slope naturally lifts your neck and jawline. It keeps length where you want it, around the face, and avoids the mushroom effect that happens when fine hair gets cut too blunt. A client named Susan from Manchester, who was 72, once told me, "I always thought structure meant straight lines and sharp edges. But this cut made my neck look longer, and my hair actually felt lighter, like it was finally working with me." not against me. That's what the soft A-line does. It gives the illusion of volume by simply moving with you instead of sitting on you. Ask your stylist for a front-to-back angle that's soft, not sharp, with no severe geometric lines. Ask for minimal stacking, just enough to give shape without bulk, and a neckline that feels clean and intentional, not cropped or choppy. Point-cut ends soften the perimeter and add natural movement. This style is perfect if you want structure without stiffness, you like a bit of length around the chin and jaw, or you're ready to ditch the blow dryer and round brush routine, because this bob air dries beautifully. If either of these styles spoke to you, drop a comment and let me know which one you're curious to try. And if you're loving these tips, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a style secret designed for women like us. Style number 3, the textured bob. This haircut became a major trend in 2010 when French hairstylists started using a technique called effortless texture on runways in Paris. The idea was simple: create movement and volume without making it look like you tried too hard. And for women over 60 with fine hair, this approach is a game changer because texture tricks the eye into seeing more hair than there actually is. Let's be honest. Perfectly smooth hair looks beautiful in magazines, but in real life, it often just means more time, more heat tools, and more frustration. Especially with fine hair after 60, that polished look can feel flat, stiff, or just not you anymore. Maybe you've spent 30 minutes with a blow dryer trying to get volume at the roots, only to have it fall within an hour. Or maybe you look at younger women with messy, beachy hair and think, I used to love that look, but now I feel like I'm supposed to go neat and tidy. Here's the truth. Texture isn't just for the young. It's actually one of the smartest tools for creating volume in fine, aging hair. Texture adds dimension through soft, piecey layers that create shadows and depth, tricking the eye into seeing more hair than there actually is. Imagine a bob with gentle, choppy layers throughout, nothing wild or edgy, just soft bends and natural movement. The ends are feathered, not blunt, so they don't cling to your scalp. This cut doesn't need perfection. A little bend here, a soft wave there. It all adds up to hair that looks fuller, livelier, and more like it's yours again. One of my favorite stories is about a woman named Linda from Chicago. She was 67 and came in saying, I used to love messy, beachy hair when I was younger, but now I feel like I have to be polished and put together all the time. We gave her a lightly layered textured bob, nothing dramatic, just a soft, tousled shape that moved when she turned her head. She came back 2 weeks later glowing and said, I feel like I'm smiling more. And I didn't even realize I'd stopped. That's what texture does. It brings you back to yourself. Ask your stylist for gentle point cut or razor cut layers throughout, not chunky or harsh. Ask for a soft, tousled finish that doesn't cling to the scalp and ends that look feathered and lived in, not blunt or geometric. Optional, slight face framing layers to add movement around the cheeks. This style is perfect if your hair feels limp and lifeless no matter what products you use, you're tired of chasing neat and want something more forgiving, or you want a shape that looks good even on days you don't style it. Some women love the polished look, others crave this relaxed vibe. There's no wrong choice, just what feels right for you. Now, if you're thinking, but won't shorter hair make my thinning more obvious? Style number 4 might surprise you, and we're diving into that next. Style number 4, the micro bob. This haircut made headlines in 2019 when actress Charlize Theron debuted her ultra-short bob at the Oscars, and women everywhere realized that shorter doesn't mean less feminine. In fact, for fine, thinning hair, going shorter can actually create more impact, more confidence, and surprisingly, more fullness than holding on to length that's working against you. I know what you're thinking. Isn't shorter hair risky when my hair's already thinning? Actually, it might be exactly what your hair's been asking for. You might be holding on to length because you're worried cutting it will expose how thin it's become. But here's what happens. Those last 2 or 3 inches. They're usually the thinnest, most damaged, most straggly part of your hair. They make everything look tired and sparse. Sometimes, letting go of length isn't a loss. It's a powerful new beginning. The micro bob is a shorter, sleeker version of the classic bob, usually falling around or just below the jawline. It removes those thinning ends entirely. Picture a crisp, clean line that curves gently under the jaw, no fuss, no layers, just a simple, intentional shape that says, I know exactly who I am. Because there's less hair to weigh itself down, it naturally looks fuller and fresher. It instantly lifts your face by revealing your jaw and neck. And it takes years off your routine. No struggling with limp ends that won't cooperate. I once had a woman named Dorothy from Vancouver in her early 70s tell me, "I was scared of cutting my hair shorter, but I also felt like I was clinging to something that wasn't working anymore." We went for a soft micro bob, just under her ears, curved slightly inward, no harsh lines, no fuss. Just a crisp little shape that framed her beautifully. She emailed me a few days later. "I feel lighter, like my hair finally matches how I feel inside." Bold. Intentional. Unapologetic. Ask your stylist for a soft, even cut that falls just below or at the jaw. Ask for slight beveling or curving under to avoid the helmet look. No heavy stacking or excessive layering. Keep it simple, sleek, and elegant. Optional. A subtle side part to add softness. This style is perfect if you want a clean, low-maintenance look. Your ends are thinning and dragging your whole style down. Or you're looking for something modern and confident without feeling too edgy. Style number 5, the curtain bob. This haircut became wildly popular in 2021 when Hollywood actresses like Jennifer Aniston and Sandra Bullock started wearing soft, face-framing layers paired with gentle curtain bangs. What made it so appealing was how it brought attention back to the face without requiring heavy, high-maintenance bangs. For women over 60, this style is a gift because it softly frames everything you want people to notice. This is the style that doesn't scream for attention, but somehow makes you feel completely seen. The curtain bob combines a softly layered bob with light, face-framing curtain bangs, those wispy pieces that part gently in the center or slightly off to the side. Imagine soft layers that move around your cheeks, drawing attention straight to your eyes, not your forehead, not your thinning spots, but where your expression lives. It softens the forehead without heavy bangs. It creates volume around your face, not just the crown. And it frames everything you want people to notice. A client named Patricia from London in her mid-60s once told me, "I don't want to hide behind my hair, but I also don't want my haircut to expose every little line on my face." She tried the curtain bob, and a week later said, "It doesn't cover me. It just brings me forward again. I feel awake, alive, and quietly luminous." Ask your stylist for gentle layers through the front, blending into soft curtain bangs. Ask for a light curve around the jawline to frame the face. No stacking or blunt lines. This cut should flow, not feel rigid. This style is perfect if you want shape around your face but don't love full bangs, your temples or forehead feel more prominent than they used to, or you like a style that moves, not one that just sits. If any of these 5 styles spoke to you, drop a comment below and tell me which one you're most excited to try. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now because we have so much more to explore together. So what have we really explored today? Yes, we named 5 bob styles, but more than that, we talked about how hair, even fine, thinning hair, can still express you. You don't need volume the size of Texas. You don't need to hide behind heavy layers or chop it all off out of frustration. You just need a cut that works with your hair, not against it. Let's recap what we covered. The stacked bob that lifts from the crown and gives you volume without products. The soft A-line that brings shape without bulk and air dries beautifully. The textured bob that plays with movement and brings life back to tired hair. The micro bob that's short, modern, and surprisingly empowering. And the curtain bob that gently frames your face and brings attention to your eyes. Each one solves a different problem, but they all have one thing in common. They don't ask you to be someone else. They simply let the version of you that's still growing, still glowing, come through. If you're still holding on to a cut that doesn't quite feel like you anymore, this is your gentle nudge to let it go. Your hair isn't getting in the way. It's just waiting for the right shape to carry you forward. Book that appointment. Show your stylist this video if you need to. Ask the questions. Be specific about what you want. Because you deserve a hairstyle that makes you feel confident the moment you wake up, not one that requires an hour of convincing in front of the mirror. And here's something I want you to remember. Age doesn't take away your right to feel beautiful. It doesn't diminish your worth or your presence. The women who inspire me most aren't the ones trying to look 30 again. They're the ones who've decided that 60, 70, 80, and beyond are chapters worth celebrating, worth dressing up for, worth showing up fully for. Your hair is part of that story. Let it reflect who you are now, not who you used to be. If this video helped you, even just a little, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who might be struggling with her hair too. Sometimes one small shift changes everything. And if you want more style secrets, confidence tips, and real talk for women over 60, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We're building a community here, and I'd love to have you as part of it. Until next time, keep showing up. Keep choosing softness over struggle. And let your hair speak in a voice that's all your own. Thanks for spending time with me today. You're radiant, and your best style is still ahead of you.